It took just over 18 months, but Bitcoin is finally back to where it traded before the event that precipitated the last crypto crash. The dominant cryptocurrency rose as much as 6.7% to $37,973 on Thursday before pairing the gain. That was the highest since May 5th, 2022, just before the Terra US stablecoin collapsed and ignited a daisy chain of failures across the crypto asset space. Bitcoin completed its full recovery from that debacle almost exactly to the year after the route coat reached its nadir when Sam Bankman-Fried's exchange, FTX, filed for bankruptcy. With Bitcoin trading back above the level when the Terra stablecoin imploded, crypto traders have officially moved on from those psychological stars. As using anything to be and dollar video able to bring matrix sport. Unlike in previous boom cycles, Bitcoin staged this year's recovery in fits and starts, with sharp advances interspersed with long lulls of low volatility, and we get here, it has to overcome the steepest monetary tightening by the Federal Reserve in 4 decades, along with increasingly stringent industry regulations. BTC has finally shown signs of being regarded as investors as a risk-off asset, similar to gold, as implied by the correlations in the past months, said Janie Deza, managing partner at crypto hedge fund A&B Investments. A succession of narratives propelled or sought to explain crypto's remarkable resurgence. Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, as a refuge from the U.S. banking crisis in March, and most recently, Bitcoin for the masses in the form of exchange-traded funds, possibly soon to be approved by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. A brief window of at least 8 days opened on Thursday for the SEC to theoretically issue approval orders, according to a note by Bloomberg intelligence analysts James Seifert and Eric Balchunas. Even if approvals don't arrive this month, we still believe there's a 90% chance of approval by January 10th. They wrote. The optimism of the potential approval by the regulator after more than a decade of deliberation has bolstered the token more than 120% this year, and Caroline Nerone, co-founder of digital asset derivatives liquidity provider Orbit Markets, sees a sustained interest in bets on a further Bitcoin rally. In comparison, global stocks have risen a modest 10% over the same period. To be sure, Bitcoin is only halfway to reclaiming the heights of the 2021 crypto mania when it peaked at close to $69,000. But digital assets advocates are already spinning on fresh narratives about its enduring strength. The ETF expectation is the top of a growing list of catalysts, which gives the current rally further legs, said Josh Gilbert, market analyst at trading and investing firm eToro. Besides the ETF trigger bets that the U.S. Federal Reserve is done with rate hikes for now, and an upcoming Bitcoin halving next year, are also fueling the rally, who Gilbert said, and even so, JP Morgan analyst Nicholas Panagiertz Zoglu said that the crypto rally looks overdone. Instead of the fresh capital entering the crypto industry to be invested in the newly approved ETFs, JP Morgan is seen as a more likely scenario, existing capital shifting from existing Bitcoin products such as the Grayscale Trust and Bitcoin Futures ETFs. Meanwhile, the price of Ether surged on bets that BlackRock Inc. is gearing up to file for an exchange-traded fund that would be centered on the second largest cryptocurrency. The Wall Street behemoth registered paperwork in Delaware for the iShares Ethereum Trust, according to documents posted to the Delaware Department of State Division of Corporations website. The movie marks BlackRock's second major foray into crypto-centric ETFs after it filed for a Bitcoin spot fund in June. The price of Ether rose as much as 8.6% on Thursday, crossing above $2,000 and hitting the highest level since April, data compiled by Bloomberg show. VanEck, Invesco, 21 shares, and others have filings for spot Ether ETFs as well. Thursday's milestone also marks a break of sorts from the legacy of those accused of its biggest failures. And for the first time down in 2014, Chapel Bankman-Fried, the crypto savior turned arch villain, was found guilty last week of one of the biggest financial frauds in U.S. history and is awaiting sentencing. For decades, Duquan, the South Korean who invented the ill-fated Terra USD, has spent time in a Montenegrin jail and is wanted by U.S. and South Korean authorities on fraud charges. FTT, the native token of the FTX exchange, has rallied almost 90% in the past 24 hours, according to CoinGecko data, amid expectations the exchange may be rebooted.